An intelligent mind is not a flashlight. It is a mirror. And most people spent their entire lives trying to avoid looking at what they've become. We are told that wisdom is a gift, a ladder to the top of the world. But for the truly brilliant, wisdom is often a wall. It is a silent frequency that makes everyone else in the room feel slightly out of tune. Strip away the social pleasantries and face the cold reality. Your intelligence doesn't make people admire you. It makes them feel judged by a standard they never agreed to meet. The logical solution to the curse of wisdom is not to play dumb, but to realize that your clarity is an accidental threat to the comfortable illusions that keep other people sane. Throughout history, the most penetrating minds, from the stinging questions of Socrates to the cold observations of Arthur Schopenhauer, have been met with a strange, violent discomfort. Socrates wasn't executed because he was wrong. He was executed because he made the wise men of Athens look like fools in front of their own children. He exposed the gap between who people were and who they pretended to be. Today, we are deconstructing the curse of wisdom. We are going to look at the 4 chapters of why high intelligence triggers a threat response in others, and how to navigate a world that prefers the darkness to your light. Chapter 1. The exposure of the autopilot. Socrates famously lived by the rule, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Most people survive by using social scripts. They follow the path of least resistance, doing what they are told, wanting what they see on screens, and repeating opinions they didn't form. An intelligent person, by simply asking, "Why?" accidentally shatters the script. You aren't trying to be difficult. You are just looking for the floor. But to them, you are pulling the rug. In modern terms, this is a disruption of cognitive ease. The human brain is wired for efficiency, which means it loves autopilot. When you introduce complex logic or deep questioning into a casual conversation, you force others into cognitive strain. Their discomfort isn't with your facts, it is with the energy you are forcing them to spend. You are essentially waking them up in the middle of a comfortable dream, and no one likes the person who turns on the lights. Chapter 2. The Threat of the Perceptive Eye. Arthur Schopenhauer, the philosopher of the will, believed that genius is a mirror in which the world sees itself too clearly. Intelligent people have a high pattern recognition ability. You see the hidden motive behind a kind gesture. You see the inevitable failure of a perfect plan. You see the lie before the person is even finished telling it. People don't hate you because you are smart. They hate you because you are a witness. This is the activation of social anxiety through hyperperception. When someone realizes you can see through their social mask, their amygdala, the brain's fear center, triggers a defensive response. They feel naked in your presence. The logical solution is to realize that your silence is often more terrifying to others than your words. They fill your perceptive silence with their own insecurities, assuming you are judging them even when you are just thinking about lunch. Chapter 3. The Breakdown of the Hierarchy. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche observed that the higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. Social groups are built on hierarchies of competence and status. An intelligent person often accidentally violates these hierarchies. You might be the junior member of a team, but if you have the senior insight, you create a psychological crisis for the person in charge. Truth is a terrible diplomat. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect in reverse. While incompetent people are shielded by their own ignorance, the highly intelligent person is aware of the logic gap in the room. When you correct a superior or point out a flaw in the groupthink, you aren't just offering a suggestion. You are destabilizing the social order. People will often choose a comfortable lie that preserves the hierarchy over a painful truth that levels it. You make them uncomfortable because you prove that the king has no clothes. Chapter 4. The isolation of the high frequency. The final chapter of The Curse is the frequency gap. Albert Einstein once noted that great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. It isn't always malice. Sometimes it is just a lack of bandwidth. The intelligent person connects dots that are miles apart while everyone else is just looking at the next dot. Being too far ahead of the curve looks exactly like being wrong. This is what psychologists call cognitive alienation. Research suggests that for a leader to be effective, they can only be about one standard deviation smarter than the people they lead. If the gap is too large, the communication link breaks. Your wisdom looks like arrogance or eccentricity because others literally cannot see the connections you are making. You make them uncomfortable because you remind them of a dimension of reality they cannot access. The final verdict. Socrates was silenced. Schopenhauer lived in isolation. Einstein found solace in his own equations. They didn't change because they were uncomfortable. They changed the world because they were willing to stay that way. The curse of wisdom teaches us that your intelligence is a responsibility, not just a trait. If you make people uncomfortable, it is often because you are a mirror, showing them the parts of themselves they aren't ready to see. As the philosopher Socrates said at his trial, "I am that gadfly which God has attached to the state, and all day long and in all places I am always fastening upon you, arousing and persuading and reproaching you." Don't dim your light so others can sleep, but learn to handle the lamp with care. Understand the scripts, respect the hierarchies, but never, ever stop looking for the truth. Tell me in the comments, have you ever felt that cold silence in a room after you shared a deep insight? Let's share the stories of the gadflies. I read every one. If the curse of wisdom rewired your perspective, consider subscribing. Let's master the mind together. Thank you for watching.